Right folks, we're in the room, we're ready to go. This is the VP4 US Open 2017 and we have a one-loss side match, a round 3 match in the one-loss side between Acero and MarkShsrk. Acero and MarkShsrk are both in the room, but probably Acero is, well, maybe Acero or Mark are busy doing something. I've just called a bit of time to get something done. And we're waiting on Acero breaking off. He's won the lag. Race to 11 on the one-loss side. I've just arrived in the room, so I don't know the real story for the delay, but we should have a match here. So Acero breaks off. Once again, a reminder about the rules. It's straightforward 9-ball. The 9-ball goes in the break, it counts and you win the rack. It's alternate break, and there are no jump cues allowed in the tournament, although you can jump if you can with your own playing cue. Now, the strong favourite by far is Acero, and he'll be even more favourite if Mark keeps doing shots like that, but Acero most certainly is the strongest player of the two. Now let's have a little look, just a reminder where they're from. Acero, I believe, from Japan, according to his flag, and MarkShsrk is from the States. Using all of the pocket there, but he's got good control of the cue ball. That needs to keep going, and that's almost there. Well, by the sounds of it, MarkShsrk is maybe playing this on a battery powered laptop. Anyway, we'll see what happens. And there's a mistake. Acero got himself out of line in the 9. Now here's a gift for MarkShsrk. Now he doesn't want to do the silly thing, and that's scratching that top right hand corner pocket, so he needs to just drop this in if he can, because the cue ball's going to naturally come across that right hand pocket, and he's missed a cut. And this time I don't think there'll be a mistake. So it sounds as if MarkShsrk is in not too good a position to be playing this match, from what I'm trying to work out from the conversation. So it's the first rack to Acero, a bit of an untidy rack. And these are relatively short races in a big tournament like this on the one-loss side. If you get behind early on, you're going to have to work hard to keep yourself in it. So MarkShsrk broke off in rack number 2. And that's a good shot. That's down on the 2. And I think he's got a slight angle there. He can get out for the 3 ball. Now all of a sudden, just checking on my stream, and this being Saturday late afternoon, the stream is buffering. So that's the first time that's happened in a long time. So busy internet. I can't see how the stream is doing, but I know it's buffering on my end. So hopefully it's okay for those people that are watching. And it may or it may not recover for me, but it doesn't matter. I can watch the game anyway. I'm in the room. Well, even at this early stage, and it's looking like 2-0, but this isn't a guarantee you'll get good on the 9. These are always difficult to judge. But MarkShsrk needs to get a rack fairly soon, as quick as he can, to try and get himself settled. And he's going to have to get rid of any nerves that he's got and play his game. And acero goes 2-0 up. And that's a good kick safe. MarkShsrk hooked on the 1. Now, what he doesn't want to do here is try and make a dead hit on the 1. He'll try that if he can, but if he starts hitting it too hard, he's going to knock balls about and he's going to open that cluster, which is really what he doesn't want to do. If he opens that cluster with a 4, 6 and 5, which he's almost done, the 4 and 5 are still stuck together. Now acero has a choice. The 4 and 5 is going to have to be broken out, so he could go for 3 fouls here. He's got a good opportunity to do it, but he can also break the 4 and 5 off the 1, but he's relying on luck to get on the 2. So the 4 is now split and it will go past the 7, and he's on the 2. And this will need a good little shot just to find that window between the 6 ball and the rail. Now has he got there? Well, it's tight. It's pretty tight. He might end up trying to kick this in off the rail. That looks like possibly what he's trying. Or knock it in off the 7. Well, he's managed to squeeze it in off the 7, and he's still got a shot in the 5. That was a good shot. And a miss on the 5. Well, this is a chance. Got to get down on the bottom side of this 6 ball. He needs to get to here. I'll make that a better line. And it needs to keep running. It needs to keep going. I think he's almost there. Yep, he's got the angle. He can just roll through off the 6. He doesn't need to play a lot of power. Just pot the 6, and he's overdone it by a mile. And that was a poor shot. And I go back to the same thing about having your mouse dialed in and having your sensitivity so you've got things under control. And MarkShsrk's overdone that, and he's in trouble. Needs a good shot, and he's hung it up. So is a chance gone. And it was a poorly played shot in the 6, it has to be said. He just needed to drop it in, no power at all, and the cue ball would have just rolled through onto that 7. And it's ending up another freebie here for Acero. He'll easily get on the 9 off this 8 ball. And it's going to be 3-0. And at this stage, unless mistakes are made by Acero, it's not looking good for MarkShsrk, especially when he's got an open table and he can't take that opportunity. Well, if he plays the bank in the 1, he's not going to get on the 2 unless he plays this with inside English to get the cue ball up to the top half of the table. It needs to go there. He's still short and he's got a cut though. But the pressure is on. He knows that if he leaves this one hanging up, it's very likely to be another rack gone. That needs to bounce. Let's short again. He's got a choice, bottom left corner or bottom right corner. Bottom right would be the one that would get him better on the 4. But it's the tougher of the 2 shots. And he's going to hang it up. Or is it going to run safe? Let's have a look. Well, he's had a little bit of luck. Now, I hit the wrong button there, hang on a minute. Back to the room. Let me just refresh my channel to see if sec. Well, I've now got I've now got the stream back up. We'll see if it holds. If it doesn't, I won't touch it again. Acero goes to the bank, gets the bank, gets good on the 5. The same danger applies here with this 6 ball. He doesn't want to go the short side of the 6 and finish near that top rail. He needs to leave it up with the middle pocket, but in doing that, he's forgot about the 5. But MarkShsrk has exactly the same problem. Now the cue ball should be going that direction with this shot. And this is all about controlling the weight. And he spun it off the rail, which is why he's finished high in the 6. But if he gets this right, he should be on the 9. And overcut it again. Really struggling. So it's 4-0 and acero with the break in rack number 5. And that 2 ball has just locked out MarkShsrk. And looking for the push out. Now he needs to get wise with this, because if he plays the push out to this end of the table, he's going to be in trouble. Because acero can just glide off that 1 and hook him behind the 8 and the 3, I think. And that's the problem when you play a bad push out. You have to make sure you don't leave yourself vulnerable to these type of shots. And MarkShsrk just fell straight into the trap. And now he's looking for a kick. Well offline. So ball in hand. The 4 ball will go past the 7 into the bottom right. So acero has the angle to come off that left side rail, get out into the table, over to that right hand side to play the 4. Dead straight, so just he's got to make his mind up here where he wants that cue ball, because the 5 is very tight past the 9, so he's got to get behind it, which he's done. And the 5 goes in clean. Yeah, but I lied. I want to see how acero plays. He's a contender for the tournament. And there's already some good players on the 1-loss side. So it's going to be 5-0. And MarkShsrk is going to have to do something or get lucky, I think, if he's going to get a rack here, because it's not looking good. But as I say, there are more ways to win a rack. You have to start getting wise, using your head, and more importantly, you have to work on that positional play. If you have a weakness, it gets found out against these guys. I keep going over the same thing like a broken record, but that's the basic facts. I think Acero can squeeze the one in. I think you can get enough of it. Couldn't do an awful lot with the cue ball. Now that too does go. It goes in off the jaw, no problem. And that was well done. So the only place there's a problem here is that 6 ball from where the 5 is, but if he gets behind the 5 from there, he can just leave the 6 down that way. Now, the angle that he's got in the 4 means the cue balls want to come back that way slightly. He wants to avoid the 9. I think he can avoid the 9, so he's going through with inside English, and that's where it's gone wrong. Catching that left middle pocket knuckle, and he might have to run for cover here. You can't bank it, it won't bank, so got to try and get it thin and hide up in that corner up by the 6 ball. Try and not move the 5 too much. And the only thing that was wrong there is he was just desperate not to knock the 5 over the corner pocket, so he didn't get enough weight into it. He caught it too thick and he's left it on. MarkShsrk's got the same problem though, but he's, well, missed the 5 but also hooked himself in the 6, and I think this time Acero won't make a mistake. And I'm wondering if this match is going to go all the way from what MarkShsrk's typing in the chat. He's sounding like a beaten man already, whatever his situation is, wherever he's playing this match. And Acero doing the right thing, just carrying on, potting balls. Keeping his mind on what he's here to do. So the lead goes to 6. MarkShsrk still looking to get something on the board, but the 7 ball has gone. Acero's got a shot in the 1, he'll be on the 2, he can drop onto the 3, and he's got the whole right hand side of the table to get down onto that 4. So a little punch shot here just to punch off that right rail and drop over to the left of the 3 ball. Unless he wants to just trickle this in. No, he's done the right shot. So anywhere below, beyond the right middle pocket would be ideal. And he's got there. And he's also got a simple 4 and can drop behind the 5 and play that down into this bottom left. Well, he didn't get the bounce that he needed. He's left it tough, but it shouldn't really be a problem for him. And he's just travelled a bit too far on the 8. So now just the pot in the 8 will do. He's got to be on the 9 ball. So it's a run out from Acero, and it's 7-0. Just 4 away. MarkShsrk breaking off in rack number 8. And he's on the 1, and a ball has gone in, and it's the 5 ball. Now he's got to find position on the 2. And his simple choice is to leave the 2 long. And he's trying to find a gap between the 4 and the 7. He's got there, but he's dead straight. Now he can squeeze an angle. And he needs to go around the corner. And it misses the 7. He's alright. Here's the pressure shot because it's into a blind pocket. And it's just dropped in. So a simple 4, just roll it in and put the 6 into the same pocket. Oh, he's sent it to the jaws. Oh dear. Well, he's definitely feeling the pressure of desperation to get a rack in the board. But it's deep in the pocket. But Acero using the rails, but it hasn't worked out, so there might be a lifeline here for MarkShsrk. The question is whether he can take it if he gets it. Well, he's looking at 2, possibly 3 rails to kick this 6 ball. And he's got the kick, but he's left it on, so not a lot to do with the cue ball either. You pot the 6 and leave the cue ball more or less where the 6 is, and you're on the 7. Nothing elaborate needing done here. Now, what's the angle? He's got the wrong angle on the 7. So he has to get up and down the table here. And he's way off. Well, he says he can't see the angles good. As I said earlier, I'm making an assumption that he's somehow ended up playing on a laptop. He mentioned about McDonald's. It sounds as if he's been driving home from somewhere and forgot about the match or whatever. I don't know. I don't know the full story. But it doesn't help if that's his situation. But it's now 8-0 to Acero. And it's only a matter of time. Well, this time it is the 8 ball that's gone. Sorry, 7 ball. 2 and the 5 are tied up. So Acero would need to do some sort of spectacular shot here to get any movement on that 2 and 5 ball. In goes the 1. Now that would have been a tremendous shot if that cue ball rolled past the 5 and left him on the left hand side of the 2, because the 2 would pot, I think. It certainly would, into this corner pocket that we're looking from. So just a kick. Now, how many opportunities has MarkShsrk had? He's had a good few to actually get in and run some balls, but he's getting lost in the process. And that 6 ball could prove to be the problem. Now, he can take care of that right now if he rolls through and just nudges the 8 or the 6, doesn't matter what one. He could have taken care of that problem. I mean, the 6 ball does go, but you've got to get the right angle on it, and he's failed in that there. So now he's left himself in a bit of a hole. If he gets the 4 and gets on the 5, and he's overhit that, well, now it's a straight choice. He's got to go for the bank. Well, he could play the cut. The cue ball is going to go around the angles. If he plays the cut, he's going that way, and he's going over here somewhere. Well, he's tried to pocket it dead weight and leave himself long in the 6, and it's all gone wrong. And that could have been a much easier shot had he maybe split that 6 and 8 apart. Well, there's a surprise. Well, this time MarkShsrk can get the cue ball over to the right, but he has to judge the weight. But I still don't think it's a good pot in this 6. Let's have a look. Now this shot, he has to just drop it in. He's going to nudge the 8, and he is going to nudge towards the right hand corner pocket. He needs to get lucky. He needs to get a bounce. Oh, he's missed the 6. Well, he would have been on the 8, no problem. Acero's left with a nasty cut in the 6 down this rail. Well, that's a great shot. Went for it full-blooded. Cue ball across the table twice, and he's on the 8. Now Hazard wants to ask me something. Well, Hazard has arranged his match with Albinario. He must have just done that recently. I'll check that out when it comes, or when I've got time. And Hazard will be up against it in that match. Very similar to this match in terms of the difference in the overall quality of the players, with the greatest respect to MarkShsrk and Hazard. But I think in Hazard's case, he definitely seems to be the better player of the two. If we're comparing MarkShsrk with Hazard, he's more likely to take his opportunities. And that'll be a match to look forward to. That's going to be a one-loss side match as well. I need to have a look at the bracket in a minute or two. Well, we'll do that after this match is over, rather than interrupting the flow. Because I need to check what time that match is going to be, because if it's too late for me, I'll be off to bed. Anyway, Acero has got himself slightly snookered in the 3. He's trying to play a clever little bank there and almost got it, but MarkShsrk's in dire straits here. He's hooked. He's got to look for the kick, or he's going to have to risk a jump with his playing cue and try and at least hit the 3. So, well, that was a good effort. Probably put a little bit of spin in the cue ball there, which he actually ran into the 7 because of it. So it's ball in hand for Acero. It's 9-0, and he's got perfect opportunity to drop onto the 4 into that top left. Oh dear, this has gone wrong. He's hooked himself behind the 8. Well, dare we say it, I still think there are too many balls on the table for MarkShsrk to do anything if he gets a chance. It's looking very like that if Acero can't make the hit on this 4 ball. But like Yamaguchi Taru, the other Japanese player, these guys can pick. They can pick the angles. He didn't pick that one. So MarkShsrk comes to the table with ball in hand. Doing an awful lot of typing and maybe not much thinking, in my opinion. He needs to focus on what he has to do here. And there's the problem already. He's the wrong side of the 5. And now the cue ball's running around the table and he's hoping he gets on the 6. Whereas he's not giving himself the direct opportunity to get on the 6. So it's a real struggle for Mark. But that's where experience and progression in your abilities of the game come in. You have to be playing this game for a good number of years to get good at it. And he's now out of line altogether. So the old kick and hope. And how's his luck? Well, this time it's not too bad. Although that 6 ball is peeking out, and no doubt about it, Acero is going for this. This is going to be a thin cut along the rail. Got to be on the 7, whatever happens. And he's played it well. So is the match actually scheduled on the tournament system yet, or is he just going to turn up? Because I need to get my dinner as well. If I see it's scheduled, then I know whether to go and get something to eat after this match is over. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Acero breaking off in rack number 11, the one that he needs for victory. He's scratched. And there are 9 balls on the table that MarkShsrk has ball in hand to try and get himself on the board. And his immediate problem is the 2 ball, because it calls for an accurate positional shot to be able to see the ball and a pocket that it's going to go into. Well, you need a good safety here. And he's going to be in trouble again. He'll nudge the 2 and he'll nudge the 8 and he'll brush in behind the 8, I think. No, he's trying to hide behind the 5. I thought he'd have went the other way, because that would have really tucked MarkShsrk up there. Well, he can go to the rail and the 2 ball at the same time here and cut this 2 in. I think he can see enough of it to do that. Oh no, he's going to leave this hanging. Well, he's just got away with it, I think. I thought he had actually just pushed that along the rail, but the little bit of spin has helped him. No, so the actual, you haven't arranged the match yet. Albinario just said he's going to show up, so it's not on the actual tournament system. You've not sent any emails and nobody's accepted anything. So if that's the case, I'm away to get my dinner after this. So MarkShsrk at the table, gone for the 2. The 2's keeping running, and this is acero's chance to run out the match. Well, I don't think MarkShsrk has done himself any favours with whatever happened with his circumstances today and how he's ended up playing this match. Whether he's in a lay-by or in a car park on a laptop somewhere, I don't know. I just don't know the full story. But it's certainly not, by the sounds of it, what he's used to, which could have a part to play in the end result. But he's had chances and he's not been able to take any of them, which is why the scoreline's as it is. Well, here's the one that counts, getting onto that 6. Just looking to find a gap between the 9 and the 6. Oh, that little nudge. Well, that could have went wrong, but he's still okay. Well, he didn't get through that enough. He's going to have to play a lot of inside English, which he's done. And the 9 is off the rail. So this for the match, and we'll have a look at the bracket. And so Acero wins this round 3 1-loss side match by 11 racks to no reply, I'm afraid. And he moves on in the tournament, and MarkShsrk's participation ends today. So let's see the bracket, and that will hopefully update. Now, I just want to mention something here while I'm at this side of the bracket, and it's not good news. If I can find the damn thing, where are we? Well, there's Albinario and Hazard, and we're waiting on that match being fixed in the schedule. Oh shit, this bloody thing's moving again. Right. Why can't I see the MarkShsrk match? Oh, there it is. So Acero is now through to play Chico. Now, Chico was in the room today, was in the lobby, but he actually, I think, forfeited his first match as well. So there's no guarantee that that match will go ahead. But this is the match that I want to mention. This match here in the 1-loss side between Tony Sam and Jay Schrader. The really sad news is that we heard a day or two ago or at least I was told a day or two ago, that Jay Schrader has sadly passed away a couple of days ago. I don't know the full story, other than the fact that one member of the Virtual Pool 4 lobby had a phone call from Paul, who that's his first name. I think it was a member of Paul's family, either his mum or his dad, was in contact with another member of the VP4 lobby to tell them the tragic news, and I passed that information on to Steve Chaplin, who has updated the bracket because Tony Sam couldn't arrange his match with Paul, and Tony Sam has been advanced. So that's the sad news there in that situation. So I would like to send off my condolences to his family and make that public as far as I can do it. So we've lost 2 members of the Virtual Pool 4 community, but 2 long-standing members this year, which is bad. But the tournament has to move on. And according to Hazard, who was in the stream, he's hopefully trying to arrange his match with Albinario, which I'll either be here for or I won't be here for, so I don't know. But in the meantime, I am going to go and get my dinner on, and hopefully be back in time to maybe catch something of this match if it goes ahead. So with that, folks, I will bid you goodbye and hopefully see you again pretty soon.